Welcome back to ASX Market Watch. Thanks very much for joining me today. I'm looking at the All Ordinaries, the ASX Top 200 in Australia, the Dow Jones in America, the FTSE in Europe, and the Hang Seng in our Asian region as well. Guys, just a really quick one today. There's a fair bit to get through and a few targets for you as well. So we're actually looking at a few predictions today, as well as the solid tools that we usually look at in order to trade with. And what we do is we look at which way the market is heading, and we look at which way we should be trading because the market is heading. For instance, if the market's heading up, or if your index is heading up, like the ASX Top 200, then we should be trading up as well. And currently, the market is heading up. Now, what we said last week, well, let's just jump straight into it, because what we've got last week, or over the last couple of weeks, was a Dow Theory entry. And if I just turn this into a weekly chart here and enlarge it for you, each of these bars is 1 week here, and we've got a peak, high, trough, and it's gone through the previous peak. Now it's pretty much closed right on that peak last week, so it's come back a little bit. But where has it come back, and why has it come back? This is back to a daily chart, just quickly. But why has it come back? Well, just as we've been looking at over the last couple of weeks, there's our long-term trend line, and if I enlarge that for you, here's a long-term view from the highs of the bull market to the lows of the bear market in 2009, and what we've got here is the downtrend line currently at the moment, and that's where the market is finding resistance. So, and it's doing it in a nice little consolidation pattern as well, in a little ABC correction. Like, this is a really tiny ABC correction. We've had ABC corrections previously on a larger scale over all the indices, but this one is looking at it on a shorter term time frame. Now, this is basically the moment of truth, because if it can break out of this consolidation pattern, which I'm hoping it does, and if it can break above the trend line, which again, that would basically be out of the consolidation pattern as well, that could bring us to some new highs, and we'd be looking at around about 5,000 as a target for that. The reason for that being, again, on a shorter term time frame, 161% of the previous move. If we were looking at this as a wave 3 on a shorter term time frame, again, guys, that could bring us up to 5,000 quite easily. Now, on a longer term time frame, and again, trying to be very quick for you guys, on a longer term time frame, if we took a projection from our previous move in July 2009 and the lows in May 2010, we could get to around about 5,100 to 5,400. Again, that would be based on a breakout above this above this downtrend line here. So a trigger for that, if you wanted to get really specific, a trigger would be a close above 4,700 on the XJO, or the ASX Top 200. So that's yeah, really simple stuff, and it looks beautiful. Really, when you look at it, it's actually quite poetic. You've got your little ABC correction. It's a continuation pattern. It's happening right underneath the trend line. It really is. It is. Literally, it is poetic, and it's quite a beautiful thing as far as I'm concerned. I love it when this stuff comes together. It is really awesome. So I hope that helps on the ASX Top 200. The next one is the Dow. The Dow, again, I mean, that's another really beautiful chart. We had our downtrend line, and if I just make that a bit bigger, here's our downtrend line, starting from the highs to the lows of the bear market again, guys. So really simple stuff. But where did the market find resistance? At 10,800, right where the downtrend line was. And now the market is actually shooting up way past that. So it didn't take long for the Dow Jones to break out from that little range. We had been calling basically more bullish action on the Dow Jones for quite some time. The reason for that being is because there's just a ridiculous amount of support, and as you can see in this blue line here, at 10,000, no one was letting the market go below 10,000 for very long, and basically when that happens, it means that there are people willing to buy at any cost, despite what the news or the economy is actually saying. And that's a fine thing. I mean, that's great. That's usually the first signs of a bull market, to be quite frank, or the signs that a recession is ending. And even this last little sideways move could be counted as a little mini consolidation or a recession. Nothing was really happening. Nothing good or nothing bad anyway. So it was just sort of stagnant. But yeah, it looks like it's a breakout on the Dow Jones. Again, if you wanted to look at a target on the Dow Jones on a shorter term time frame, guys, this is again very simple stuff. If we were looking at a wave 3, so as in at 1, 2, going into a wave 3, could easily be getting to 11,600 between between 11,000 and 11,600. So that would be looking at your wave 3 on a longer term time frame. Again on the Dow Jones, giving you a target. If we take the previous move again from July 2009 to the lows in March 2010. Oh no, when was it? July 2010. There we go. So that could bring us up to, again, 11,500. So that's a good sign there. Or a top of 12,700. So that would be on a longer term basis. On a shorter term basis, between 11,000 and 11,600. And again, really it hasn't been able to close below that 10,000. Still happy days. Still bullish as far as I'm concerned. And it's closed above its long-term downtrend. So even happier days on the Dow Jones and in America, despite what the news is saying. So yeah, if you're looking at the charts, the prices are still rising and people are still buying. The next one is the FTSE. And the best thing about the FTSE, actually, what you'll find is all these markets are starting to come together again. They sort of took a bit of a hiatus, and they left each other. They went on a bit of a break. You know, the FTSE was different to the Dow Jones, was different to the Australian markets as well, the ASX Top 200. But yeah, so now they're really starting to come together. And what's happening on the FTSE? It is consolidation right underneath the long-term trend line. Exactly. How good is that? I mean, it's happening to everything, and it's happening again poetically. Like, it really is almost a beautiful thing if you were to get excited about that kind of thing, which I tend to do from time to time. Apologies if that freaks anyone out. I'm sure some of you understand. But again, we've got, if we were to look at the move like a projection for this particular one, 100% would be right on this downtrend line. So there's going to be a lot of resistance there. Yes, it's true. If it breaks out, which I'm hoping it will because everyone else is, and hopefully it will just follow, because world markets tend to follow in the same circles. They tend to run in the same circles. It's been happening for hundreds of years, despite even when you didn't have internet and fast breaking news, the markets still actually had recessions and depressions at the same time. Check it out. It's absolutely fantastic when you get into that stuff. But anyway, consolidation below the previous below the downtrend line, sorry, and if it breaks out of there, we could be looking at a target of, you know, around about 6,000, to be quite frank, and that's a nice round number for people to sort of start gearing towards as well. As investors, people tend to sort of gravitate towards round numbers, so that'll be 161% of the previous move. Again, on a longer term, guys, if you wanted to get into a longer term basis, a target from the move in July 2009 and again to, it must be July 2010. Yes, it is the low in July 2010. 100% of that previous move would be 6,500, or 75% would be 6,100. So again, on a longer term, you'd be looking at just above 6,000 to 6,500. So yeah, shorter term would be around, you know, 6,000 as a major part of that shorter term move if it was to go above that downtrend line. So really simple stuff on the FTSE as well. The last one is the Hang Seng, and the Hang Seng is really, I mean, this is my baby at the moment, because it's done exactly what we wanted it to do, or not what we wanted it to do, but what we said it would do. And you know what? That's just great when that happens. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic, sure. And it's all based on Elliott Wave. Why? Because it's got the cleanest Elliott Wave out of any of the markets as far as I'm concerned. We've got, on a longer term basis anyway, we've got a 1, 2, 3, and then we've got our ABC correction, which brings our fourth wave here. Now what happened, so the target for that, basically, if you're looking at a longer term target, looking at between 25,000 and 30,000 as a longer term target for the Hang Seng. Again, what happened recently in the last couple of weeks? Our solid signal, which gave us the breakout, basically, was the breakout from the downtrend line, and therefore out of the consolidation pattern or the continuation pattern that we had here, and the market has continued up again since then. So yes, we called it way back when because of the ABC correction, and we called the bottom. Not a wise thing to do, calling bottoms. Yes, I like to do it occasionally. It's a little bit of fun. Wouldn't sort of do it on a too regular basis. I'd sort of base it on more solid tools, such as a breakout, which is exactly what we've had just recently. Again, on the FTSE, guys, we did have, just jumping back to the FTSE really quickly, just enlarge that a little bit. We did have our, here it is, on a weekly chart, we had the Dow Theory entry. We had a little candlestick pattern as well. It was a gravestone doji, I believe. Yes, thank you for everyone who sort of set that in. That's fantastic. Love the candlestick terminology. If you understand it, it just means there's sellers at that point and there's sellers at the long-term downtrend line, which tends to make sense. Hopefully we'll be able to break out of that and get to our target of around 6,000 to 6,500. Guys, hope that has helped. There's a lot of exciting stuff going on in the markets today, and as I said, sometimes it just really is amazing and fantastic, and it's a great pastime, and it's a great way to get involved in the world and the world economy and the world markets, and plus it's a little bit of fun to boot. So again, hope I helped, guys. Check out the website asxmarketwatch.com. It'd be great to have you stop by. Other than that, I will see you next week, and happy trading, guys. Bye for now.